It's time for the first ever sprint race here at Magny-Cours, and the lights will go out now. It's a great start for Pierre Gasly, who will try to go down the outside into turn number one. As we see, George Russell will go around the outside of the Ferrari of Pascal Wehrlein and will now attack Charles Leclerc. Down the inside he goes. He will make it stick and down to the main straight. George Russell now promotes his Mercedes up to P2, and Gasly with a comfortable advantage as Charles Leclerc will take a look down the inside but won't make it stick. And we see now Pierre Gasly with a comfortable two-car advantage over George Russell and the rest of the field as the lap number one of the Formula One sprint of the LX7 fantasy season is now getting underway. We always do. We'll take a look at now some of the race starts, and here is Pascal Wehrlein in the Ferrari replacing Carlos Sainz for today's race. As we see, he did not get as quite of a good start as George Russell did, who swung around the outside of him, and he will now move down into P4, Pascal Wehrlein, as he's trying to chase his teammate Charles Leclerc, who goes a bit off track, takes a look down the inside but won't make it stick, will stay behind the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. Team orders are probably in effect here, and so Pascal Wehrlein will now have to take care of that P4 position that he's in. And as we see now here, Fernando Alonso, who's now P5 on the grid, having a fantastic start, as he's always had, gaining a place on Mick Schumacher in the Haas, and now he's behind Pascal Wehrlein right now in P5. Fernando Alonso with another great start in the season, now in the sprint race for today's race here at the French Grand Prix. Now we'll take a look at us charging Sergio Perez, who's now currently P13, stuck behind Nicholas Latifi, sends it down the inside, and he will try to make that Red Bull stick, and he will, pushing Nicholas Latifi a bit wide, but Sergio Perez makes the move work. Up to P12 he goes. As we see now, here is the onboard of Sergio Perez, who's stuck behind Nicholas Latifi in this case. He'll send it down the inside of the Williams driver, and he will make it work down the inside as now he's charging through the field, trying to recover some spots he lost during qualifying. And this is a sprint race, so he could still gain a lot of positions. Sergio Perez is now looking for a move down the inside of Lewis Hamilton. We'll see if he can get up to P10 with his comeback in the sprint race. Sergio Perez will tuck down the inside, he goes, of Lewis Hamilton. Will he make it work once more? And he will make it work. He gets past Lewis Hamilton in the same corner where he has been done most of his overtakes today. And there is a yellow flag in Sector 3, and this looks like it's Yuki Tsunoda, who is going very slowly in the AlphaTauri.
The car switched off.
Oh, and that is not good news to hear for Yuki Tsunoda, as he has to retire from the race. It seems like, Charles Leclerc seems to have pushed wide George Russell. He'll surely get on the radio and protest. As we take a look at a replay of that move, Pascal Wehrlein, does he make contact? And no, he doesn't, but the race control has notified that there's no investigation necessary for the incident between George Russell and Pascal Wehrlein. As we head on to lap number 8, as we see, it looks like Sergio Perez will try to make up another position on Liam Lawson. Down the inside he goes of the AlphaTauri driver, who's replacing Pierre Gasly, as Sergio Perez will make the move stick, but Liam Lawson is still fighting that position. They'll go into the next corner. Sergio Perez into the lead now, ahead of Liam Lawson for P8. Sergio Perez has been making him a ton of positions today, up to P8 now. Liam Lawson will have to go down the order now, as Sergio Perez, the Red Bull driver, is making one of his fantastic recovery drives, as he always does in Formula One. As we see now, Sergio Perez getting around the chicane and puts himself up to P8. Oh, and what is that? A second mechanical failure in today's sprint.
Fuck! No!
No, indeed, as Charles Leclerc will have to retire in the pit lane. He goes now. Lando Norris just had an amazing overtake on Guan Yu Zhou in the Alfa Romeo. As we see now, he's going through the chicane. And as we take a look at the replay and look what happened with Lando Norris overtaking Guan Yu Zhou. Lando Norris putting himself up a couple more positions. Riding on board with Valtteri Bottas, who has a straight line speed advantage over. Ooh, and there's like has fighting with his wheel right there. But as he sends it around the outside on his teammate, Zhou Guanyu down the inside will fight it once more as he insists. Valtteri Bottas will have to fight this very hard if he wants to come back into the lead of his teammate, and he does. Back into P12 goes Valtteri Bottas around the outside of his teammate Zhou Guanyu. We'll take a look now at an overtake, a double overtake indeed, from Lewis Hamilton in today's sprint race as he is behind the Williams of Alexander Albon. He will go down the inside and fight the position with Esteban Ocon in the Alpine. Lewis Hamilton double overtake in one corner, propelling up some positions here in today's sprint race. He has delivered. He has dominated today's sprint race. Pierre Gasly's rounding the final corners, and as he takes the short run to the line, he'll take the checker flag and will become the winner of the fantasy season's sprint race here in the French Grand Prix. From Magny-Cours, Pierre Gasly from pole will take the sprint race, and Pascal Wehrlein P2.
Yes. Very happy, guys. Very happy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes another session down in the F1 fantasy season here at the Grand Prix of France. And as we see, Pierre Gasly taking that dominant victory in the sprint race by over 12 seconds against the rest of the field. Pascal Wehrlein will come home P2 with George Russell P3 ahead of the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, who had to take a retirement in today's race. Fernando Alonso coming home in P4. P5 for Mick Schumacher, a great result for him. P6 goes for Daniel Ricciardo, and that will close out the top 6 for today's sprint race. Hope you enjoyed. Please comment and subscribe to see more videos